Assume y is directly proportional to the cube of x. A. Express this relationship as a function where y is the dependent variable. First of all, we need to recall that if two quantities are directly proportional to each other, then when we find the ratio of those two quantities, we get a constant value. So if Q1 is directly proportional to Q2, then Q1 divided by Q2 will be equal to some constant, which I've denoted with the letter K. In this case, y is directly proportional to x cubed, so our first quantity is y and our second quantity is x cubed. That means that y over x cubed is equal to k. We want to express this relationship as a function where y is the dependent variable, so what we'll need to do is to solve this equation for y. We simply multiply both sides by x cubed, and we get y is equal to k times x cubed. In part B, if y is equal to 10 when x equals 2, then find the value of the constant of proportionality in part A. Well, the constant of proportionality is the value of k, and to find k we just take y and divide by x cubed. So we substitute 10 for y and 2 for x, and we get 10 over 2 cubed. 2 cubed is equal to 8, so we get 10 over 8. Both 10 and 8 are divisible by 2, so this reduces to 5 over 4. And 5 over 4 in decimal form is 1.25. C. If x is increased by a factor of 5, what happens to the value of y? Well, increasing by a factor of 5 means to multiply by 5. So what we want to do is to multiply x by 5 and see what happens to y in our original function from part A. So we're going to replace x with 5x and then see what happens to y. So we start with y is equal to kx cubed and substitute 5x for x. We get k times the cube of 5x. But the cube of 5x is the cube of 5 times the cube of x. So this becomes k times 5 cubed times x cubed. Now we're trying to determine what happens to y, and y is k times x cubed. So notice that we have a factor of k that matches, and we have a factor of x cubed that matches. The only thing that doesn't match is this 5 cubed, and 5 cubed is 125. So what we're going to do is to rewrite this expression as 125 times kx cubed. Now in place of kx cubed, we're going to substitute y. So what we see is that if x is increased by a factor of 5, then y is multiplied by 125.